Okay, I'd like to show how to use the Designer Pro software in simulation mode. So we can use the software even without the hardware. So when it starts up, you'll want to select Simulator down here. We have different connection options, but Simulator is the one that we want. The modules, you'll need to configure, it's a 3-module base. When we configure it, you want to use this card. This is our multifunction card. I'm going to add that to it. And we'll select a name like Simple Project 1. Click to start. I did this beforehand, so let me delete all this out so I can show you how to do everything. So you'll put a blank line. Might as well put a couple of blank lines in there. So we know the last one is the first pass coil. So that's a normally open coil. That'll go right here. I click on the question marks. First pass. Okay. Up here we have a closed contact called first pass and an output coil. Oops, sorry. And the move instruction. Move data. Okay, that's going to go here. I guess it could go there. Let's just try to be consistent. I'll put it there. So the source on this one will be a 0. The destination will be a state value. Okay. So state value, I created this earlier. And state value is an integer number, just like we talked about in class. So when this runs, it'll load a 0 into state value. So let's run it and see what it does. What I'll do is go online with the simulator. And I will go to monitor mode. And I can see first pass is green, which is on. And of course, a 0 got loaded in as soon as it turned on. So I'll go to edit mode. So it puts me back over here. I'm online, so as long as I'm online, I can add things and it will download to the controller automatically. So I'll insert a couple of blank lines right here. Okay, and I think right here we had, if you're in state 0 and you press the start switch, we go to state 100. So let's do that. So if I'm in state 0, so if state value equals to 0, and the switch is on, so this will be called switch. Then I'd like to move 100. So I will go back and get the data move instruction. And I'll put a 100 into state value. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll copy this and I will paste it right here. Just to save a little bit of typing. I'm going to get rid of this blank line. I don't need that there. So here I'm going to say if I'm equal to 100, so let me put a 100 here. Here it's if it's closed, so I do a right click, replace with closed contact. And I'll put a 200 into state value. So here, first pass puts a 0. The switch puts a 100. If I turn off the switch, I put a 200. So let's go back to monitor mode. Right now I'm at 0. If I right click and turn on the switch, I go to 100. If I turn off the switch, I go to 200. So if I turn the switch on again right now, nothing happens. Because once I get to state 200, this can no longer function because I've left state 0. And since I'm in state 200, this doesn't really function either because I'm looking for state 100. So if I wanted to clean this up a little bit, I could add another line. So if I turn off the switch, I go back to 0. So let's try that. Let's go to edit mode. Let's put a blank line above the bottom line there, and let's copy and paste. And I'll delete this blank line. It puts a blank line every time I do that. So if I'm in state 200 and I turn off the switch, I'd like to go back to state 0. Okay. And then let's watch that. One thing I can add at this point, you see there's a blank line right here. I can delete that. I have to go to edit mode, but if I delete the row, I can clean it up a little bit and make it a little tighter on the screen there. Down here I could delete 2 of those and just tighten up the display a little bit. Makes it a little more compact. Notice the comment section here is blank, so I could sort of explain what this line is doing. I can add some notation to it. So let's watch it run. Switch is off. I'm in mode 0. Okay, I'm going to turn the switch on. Go to 100. I'm going to turn it off. Why did it go straight to 0? Well, I went to 100. The switch was off. I went to 200. The switch was off. I went back to 0. So I can't just use one contact to do it this way. What I'd need to do is add another state, like state 150. So if I turn off, if I'm in 100 and I turn off the switch, I would have a state in between. So, it's a start. But the reason I'm showing this video is we can see the simulation mode, see how to pull down contacts and coils, and get something to work.